going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 23:28 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Asia, also from Europe, and also from here in the United States. So I want to share some new footage coming out from the Trump shooting. So what you're looking at here is just a different angle of the Trump shooting at the rally on Saturday. And we have some major breaking news coming in that apparently the Secret Service was aware of the potential threat to Trump 10 minutes before Trump took the stage in Pennsylvania, but they let him go out on stage anyway. And this revelation was made during a Senate briefing earlier today. And U.S. Senator John Barrasso told Fox News that the person who attempted to assassinate Trump was identified as a character of suspicion by law enforcement over an hour before the shooting actually occurred. And FBI officials speaking with members of Congress said that the gunman's search history on his electronic devices included images of public figures, including Trump and Biden, along with dates of Trump's appearances and the DNC in Chicago, the Democrat National Convention in Chicago, according to a person who was on the call with the FBI officials. So this is very, very serious, guys. The Secret Service, for some reason, did not take Trump off stage, even though they identified Thomas Crooks an hour before the shooting occurred as a suspicious person. And then even 10 minutes before he committed the shooting, they were already on him, okay? So, very strange situation. We're also hearing reports of multiple shooters present at this event. I don't know what to think about that. We're hearing reports of another shooter that was on the water tower. I'm not sure if I believe that, simply because there's barbed wire fencing around that water tower. So the shooter would have had to get through that barbed wire fencing and then climb all the way up to the top of the tower. And then they would have had to make an extreme downward angle shot, which, if you're not an experienced marksman, you would likely miss because of that steep downward angle. But I personally don't believe that Thomas Crooks is the shooter, simply because of what everybody's been saying about him. First of all, he was a registered Republican, and also his classmates and people who knew him said that he was a conservative, and he was also a terrible shot. Okay, he tried to join the high school rifle team, and they said that they had to kick him off because of his poor gun safety, and he was just so bad. So I think he's just a patsy. He's just a fall guy, and the real shooter was somebody else. This could have been an inside job. Okay, I hate to say it, but it could have been an inside job planned out by the deep state, planned out by the New World Order. What's crazy is that one of the Illuminati cards from 1995 in the Illuminati card game by Steve Jackson showed Trump, and the card said "enough is enough," and it had a picture of a guy shouting who looked very similar to Trump, and underneath it, it said, "At any time, at any place, our snipers can take you out." Okay, so absolutely chilling information from this Illuminati trading card, and I shared that with you guys several days ago. A lot of these Illuminati cards predicted major world events like COVID-19. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a discount on their 1-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. This is a 1-month freeze-dried food supply. It has a 25-year shelf life. Normal price is $237. They've dropped it down to $177. So that's a savings of $60. And it's all packed within 2 rugged, water-resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $177 for 1 month of food. Where are you going to find a deal like that? They also have a general store, and they're always running discounts in their general store on various prepping and survival items. They have everything from MREs, potassium iodide, to survival seeds. And to get to their general store, you got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com. And you'll see when you get there, they have everything you can imagine. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $60 off the My Patriot Supply 1 month emergency food supply. That's $180 for 1 month of food, free shipping included. The link is in the description below this video. And also check out their general store. They have everything you can imagine prepping and survival related, and they're always running various discounts there. 9/11 and a bunch of other things, okay? So very strange situation. Wanted to just share this new footage with you guys and update you on that. And we currently have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert. We have 2 nuclear war command and control planes up in the air, one off the coast of South Carolina, one off the coast of California, getting aerially refueled. To have 2 of these up in the air this late at night is definitely unusual, to say the least. And apparently Biden tested positive for COVID in Las Vegas earlier today, and he is now canceling all of his campaign appearances and is going to Delaware to recover. So my guess is he really didn't test positive for COVID-19. I think he just needs to take a couple of days off to decide if he wants to stay in the race or not, because he's been facing a lot of pressure by some very senior figures in the Democrat Party. And then with this Trump shooting over the weekend that probably didn't go as planned, they were probably planning to take out Trump and they missed. And now Trump's popularity is skyrocketing, so maybe Biden needs a couple of days to decide what he wants to do. Does he want to drop out? What's the plan? But we're hearing now that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told Biden that it would be better for the country if he ended his re-election bid. And Nancy Pelosi also told Biden that his continued candidacy may destroy the Democrats' chances of winning a majority in the House of Representatives. And apparently Democrat Senator Bob Menendez from New Jersey will resign after a corruption conviction. And Politico is reporting that the Democrat Party is now in a total meltdown. Okay, so I expect a massive red wave this fall all across the country at federal, state, and local levels. Okay, so make sure you guys are out voting. It's going to be a red wave. I'm almost certain of this. And Xi Jinping is currently in critical condition after he suffered a severe stroke. Here we have a picture of him grimacing after he drank some tea or coffee at the 3rd plenary session of the Chinese Communist Party. Is it possible that he was poisoned? Maybe he had some poisoned tea, maybe Putin poisoned him. I don't know, guys. Okay, I don't think Putin particularly likes Xi Jinping. And how convenient would it be for Putin to take out Xi Jinping? I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tried to take him out. And China has suspended nuclear arms control talks with the U.S., and the U.S. State Department responded and said, "We regret Beijing's decision to suspend arms control and nuclear proliferation talks." So this is a huge sign that China is preparing to arm itself to the teeth with nuclear weapons. Okay, they're suspending arms control negotiations with the U.S. because they want to increase their nuclear arsenal. And the CIA has predicted that in a couple of years, China could reach 1,500 deployed warheads in their nuclear arsenal, which is massive. Okay, that would basically be the same amount deployed as Russia or us here in the U.S. as of right now. Okay, almost as much as us and Russia. So that's very, very serious. And if we don't do something soon, like rapidly accelerate the development of more warheads and rapidly expand our nuclear arsenal, then China and Russia are going to have double the amount of warheads as we have. And then what's going to happen is they're going to attack us with those warheads because they're going to calculate that they can win. If both of them nuke us, then there's no way we can nuke both of them back if we have the same amount of weapons as China or Russia, okay? So we have to rapidly expand our nuclear arsenal. I hope whoever's president next, if it's Trump, I hope he puts back the 2 missing warheads on each of our Minuteman missiles, and I hope he puts back the 4 Trident missiles on all of our Ohio-class subs that Obama removed, and also Obama removed the 2 warheads on all of the Minutemans as well. Okay, that would be the first thing to do, and then another thing that needs to be done is to make the B-1 bombers nuclear capable again, okay, to bring them back into our nuclear triad. And there's a lot of other things we can do as well, but this is very, very serious, guys, okay, very serious. And the Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said that Israel could launch an offensive in Lebanon overnight. He made this statement while speaking to reservists of the Oded Brigade in the northern part of Israel. This was reported by the Times of Israel. And earlier today, the Israeli Chief of Staff shared battle plans for Lebanon with CENTCOM Commander Kurilla. And Iran's acting foreign minister at the United Nations Security Council threatened Israel, saying that expanding the war to include Lebanon would be a serious miscalculation and would escalate matters in the region out of control. I warn against such an adventure. The Israeli invasion of Lebanon will be met with a strong and regrettable response from the international community, regional states, and resistance factions. And the Biden administration sent a private warning to Iran last month expressing serious concerns about Iranian research and development activities that could be used for the production of a nuclear weapon. So the Biden administration basically warning Iran, and Iran now threatening and warning Israel, saying that there's going to be a massive retaliation if they go into Lebanon. And North Korea has recently laid tens of thousands of new landmines across its border, forcing its soldiers to work in grim conditions as they suffer multiple casualties, Seoul said on Wednesday. Despite sweltering heat and the monsoon season, the North Korean military has laid down mines and erected wall fences along the frontline areas, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. The newly planted mines are estimated to number in the tens of thousands, it added. During the months-long effort to strengthen defenses along the demilitarized zone, already one of the most heavily mined areas in the world, there have been at least 10 instances where mines exploded, resulting in multiple casualties among the North Korean soldiers, the ministry said. North Korean soldiers mobilized for this effort have been living under inadequate barracks conditions without weekends or change of duty, working 12 to 13 hours a day on average, the ministry noted. A photo released by the ministry showed 3 soldiers carrying what appeared to be wooden boxes, which the ministry identified as landmines. Another photo showed a group of soldiers carrying an injured comrade on a stretcher. South Korean soldiers are bracing for defections by North Korean soldiers laboring under these poor working conditions, the ministry said, as well as a further potential breach into southern territory. Relations between the two Koreas are at one of their lowest points in years after the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declared the South his principal enemy earlier this year and moved to jettison agencies dedicated to reunification while stepping up security along the border. North Korean troops have crossed the border multiple times in recent months. Seoul has said, apparently accidentally, during the efforts to reinforce the border. Pyongyang has also further ramped up its weapons testing this year as it draws ever closer to Russia. Seoul has accused Pyongyang of shipping arms to Moscow for use in the Ukraine war. And also, if you guys remember, Putin signed a mutual defense treaty with North Korea. Okay, so if we go to war with North Korea, then Russia is going to go to war with us. All right. And Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, made a speech today, and he said, quote, "If your tanks come to Lebanon and southern Lebanon, you will not suffer from a shortage of tanks because you will have no tanks left." And some other things he said in his speech. He said that for the first time in its history, the quote-unquote Zionist entity is experiencing its worst times and days at every level, as its political and military leaders admit. For the first time, Israel appears unable to achieve its goals and covers up its failure with hideous massacres against civilians in Gaza. For the first time, Israel is suffering in everything, including its army, its trustworthy agencies, its government, its parties, its society, its security, and its economy. All of this is the outcome of the fighting and steadfastness in Gaza, the West Bank, and the various support fronts. Yemen was able to prevent ships from crossing the Red Sea to occupy Palestine and impose a siege on the port of Eilat, which, according to its officials, has gone bankrupt. All attempts by the entity to hide its human and material losses, especially with regard to its army, have begun to appear successively in the past days. The Israeli army admitted for the first time that it suffers from a shortage of tanks due to their damage on the fighting fronts in Gaza and in the north. Persistence in targeting civilians will push the resistance to launch missiles and target new colonies that were not previously targeted. Our front will not stop as long as the aggression against Gaza continues, and the threat of war has not scared us for 10 months when Israel was not suffering from a shortage. Everything that is rumored about a ready situation on the southern border is incorrect, and the future of the situation in the south will be decided in light of the results of this battle. So, strong words there from Hassan Nasrallah, leader of Hezbollah. And Boris Johnson urged Donald Trump to maintain his support for Ukraine during a 30-minute meeting at the Republican National Convention yesterday. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, having met with Donald Trump at the Republican Party convention, said he was convinced Trump would support Ukraine if elected president. And Ukraine has apparently blocked the transit of Russian oil to Hungary through the Druzhba oil pipeline. Hungarian energy company MOL and Russian company Lukoil are now together looking for a legally acceptable solution to restore supplies, according to Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó. So, wow, huge news there. Ukraine blocking Russian oil from going to Hungary. And Russia's foreign minister said on July 17th that there is irrefutable evidence that imprisoned Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich is guilty of espionage, one day before the journalist is scheduled to appear in court. Sergei Lavrov accused American journalists of delaying U.S.-Russia talks on a potential prisoner exchange by publicizing confidential negotiations, which he noted are still ongoing. At a UN news conference, Lavrov said Gershkovich's case is unrelated to any attacks on journalism. I would like to assure you that just as much as you do, we are in favor of journalism and freedom of speech, Lavrov said, which is just complete BS. And Belarus has introduced visa-free travel for citizens of 35 European countries starting on July 19th. So very interesting. Belarus is going to be allowing most Europeans to travel to Belarus with no visa. Absolutely strange. And here we have a speech coming from the appointed new... And here we have a speech coming from Trump's pick for the new leader of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. and he says that they're going to deport all illegal immigrants and that they're going to go after the cartels. So let me play this for you.
I got a message. As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home. And I got another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
Wow, strong words there. Wow, but that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back tomorrow with more breaking news, but looks like things are really heating up in Asia with North Korea laying tens of thousands of new landmines and China pulling out of nuclear arms control talks, Xi Jinping in critical condition, potentially poisoned. So I'm going to be monitoring all of these events. And I am considering going to Butler, Pennsylvania, which is not too far away from me, to do a field investigation of this Trump rally location where the shooting occurred. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. Guys, countless people are mistaking private browsing tabs as a way to stay anonymous online. Even with private browsing mode enabled, you can still be tracked by websites and internet service providers. Also, your data is still at risk if you are using unsecured or public Wi-Fi hotspots. That's why I've been protecting my privacy and data with Virtual Shield VPN. I sleep well at night knowing that my data and privacy is not exposed to governments, hackers, and big tech. And if you use the link in the description below this video, which is virtualshield.com/deals/NYPrepper, you can get 70% off and a 60-day risk-free trial. With Virtual Shield's anonymous browsing, a strict no-log policy, unlimited bandwidth, and built-in malware and ad blocking, Virtual Shield also has 24/7 customer support and was built in the USA. So start protecting yourself today. Use the link in the description, which is virtualshield.com/deals/NYPrepper to get 70% off and a 60-day risk-free trial.